Hi everybody, it's Nikki again, and I am here to do, tip number 7, I guess is what it is. It's technically tip number 6, and I don't even know if it is still in the same series. These videos are my personal experience, not to be used as medical advice, and I am here to share Medtronic's tip, which is entitled Bolus for Uneaten Carbs. These are their documents that they are passing on to their trainers at this point for their trainers to help their patients be able to kind of fine tune some of their things. I personally think some of it is to try to convince people that everything's fine. Don't worry about a thing. Everything's going to be fine. It feels a little bit like that to me. That was an opinion, not a fact. Okay, so basically this one is the fake carbs, or as some people call them, the phantom carbs. This is what Dawn Phenomenon, you can see what's on my mind. This is what Medtronic has to say. One phenomenon that you may have encountered in relation to SmartGuard Auto Mode is that of giving a bolus for carbs that have not been eaten, sometimes referred to as fake carbs. Okay, so why would a patient enter uneaten or fake carbs into the pump? Because of the nature of the auto mode algorithm, and I'm going to try not to vomit while I read this, because that's really, really to the bottom of my heart how I feel. Okay. Because of the nature of the auto mode algorithm and its 120 target, some patients find it conservative, taking more time for a high glucose to come down post-correction bolus than what they may be accustomed to. In my case, not only did it take some time to come down, but sometimes it didn't come down. And oftentimes it was the auto mode algorithm that was what sent me high in the first place. So it was a very frustrating experience. Yes, Medtronic, very frustrating. As a result, patients are learning to enter uneaten or fake carbs into the pump to force the algorithm to calculate a bolus of insulin for the entered carbs. I did this one time, and that was 3 weeks ago, to experiment with something. I never did this in 3 months that I was in auto mode. I waited for those highs to come down, and I just would not do this. Some people do it. I do agree that it's probably risky, but people are trying to get insulin, so it's also risky to just not have insulin, but another opinion. So, all right, this is going to be long. Remember, the bolus recommendation that the pump gives in auto mode cannot be overridden, which has forced the phenomenon of fake carbs so that a patient can get additional insulin. Okay, so why do fake carbs matter? This habit is dangerous because the dynamic basal insulin that the algorithm is delivering in the background is increasing to try to bring the high glucose down closer to the 120 target. The algorithm is calculating how much insulin will bring the patient's glucose down to target without driving them low. And that amount, like everything else about this pump, is not known by the patient. They may have enough plasma insulin to correct. I'll check it because I'm on video. They may have enough, because I don't clear alerts anymore without looking, bad habit. They may have enough plasma insulin to correct a high blood glucose, but they see the correction as quote unquote not enough, and are tempted to enter carbs that they aren't actually eating and give a fake carb bolus to quicken that glucose drop. As a result, patients may experience both frustration and low glucose values. I agree on the low glucose values. There are some people who really struggle with lows in auto mode, and I think it's because they're piling up insulin. I don't think it's just because of fake carbs. I also think they're doing it through insulin setting changes. But I do agree with that. I definitely agree with the frustration. My only thing is that those corrections are light. And in fact, I think that the real problem is they often are not taking into consideration the amount of time that we have not gotten insulin through minimum delivery, or we've gotten a reduced rate. So their correction at a 200 is a small correction anyway, because they are taking into account what's already on board. They are trying to be predictive and to control you and not be able to bring you down too fast. But what they're not calculating in there is that we didn't get 2 hours of insulin. So it's not even close to enough. This is a lot of opinion, and this is based on, I won't do it again, but a lot of watching these numbers and taking daily logs and sometimes 50 tests in 4 hours to really study this. Okay, so How should we instruct patients when we see boluses for uneaten carbs, fake carbs being delivered? Patients should be encouraged to trust the system. It's going to be fine. Don't think about it and don't ask questions, just trust the system. And not try to override the bolus estimator as it's working in the background to try to optimize time and range. Be sure to set the expectation with them that it may take more time for a high glucose to come down post-correction bolus than they are used to. If they are constantly feeling the need to give more insulin, their carb ratio and active insulin time settings should be assessed by their prescriber for possible changes that need to be made. Again, I feel like it's a Band-Aid fix for a far bigger wound. Example of fake carbs on a CareLink weekly review report. This, I believe, is probably true. They're showing here what happens when you actually enter the fake carbs and that plummet right there. Now, in reality, I can show you this exact image 5,692 times for my own CareLink reports, and as I said, I never did that. I believe this happens just because of, right here you're getting a whole lot of insulin. It does start to take care of your sugar, but then it kicks you into minimum delivery, which is trying to help you with that drop, which turns around and sends you high. So I guess this one is really for fake carbs, but as I said, I've seen this image a whole lot, and I didn't do any fake carbs. So that's just kind of what happens with me as a diabetic, is that I go high, I go low. It's the minimum delivery that turns around and sets me up for the next high. Not every time, and it won't happen to everybody, and I'm sure that there are, I'm sure that this doesn't happen to everybody. I really am sure of it, and I'm sure it wouldn't happen to the same extent that it happened to me. But I got these tips, and I wanted to share, and all I got to say is that I feel like if I believed what they are saying, that it would just prolong how long it took me to figure out what was really happening. This is a very opinionated video, and on that note, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.